So, good morning, Sarah McIntyre, calling out of Sydney, Australia area. Sarah is founder and chief strategist at Bright Inbound Marketing.
Hey
Sarah, would
Steve,
you?
how are you?
Hey,
Oh,
welcome.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, and no worries. This is very casual and informal. So, Sarah, could you take a few minutes and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, and talk also about your experience within the industry from a credibility perspective.
Right, okay. So I I've been a marketer for over 20 years. I started my career in tech companies and startups, moved to a few big global multinationals, and then started Bright Inbound in 2009. But mainly because I wanted to execute some really great campaigns and put best practices in place. I think when you sometimes work for big companies, that doesn't necessarily happen. And I was excited about the growth of content marketing and the growth of and the technology platforms that were available to really get much more personalized with your marketing and deliver a good customer experience. So for the last 9 years, I've been working with organizations to help them build some momentum with their marketing. I think there's, for a lot of business owners, a lot of confusion and frustration about marketing. There's so many different tactics and shiny and new things to try that it's just overwhelmingly confusing for a lot of people. So I help them to really define their strategy by focusing on delivering great customer experience.
Excellent. That's something that everyone needs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's so much noise in the marketing world. It's so hard to know what to do and what to do next, and it's easy to get distracted. And there's, lots of different organizations pitching different things, like, oh, you need to do Facebook ads, or oh, you need to do video, or you need to do this or that. And so it's very hard to for people to filter through that noise.
I agree with that. So talk a little bit about what you've been able to accomplish out in the industry. If you speak at any event, or if you sit on any committees, boards.
Mm-hmm. So, well, this year I was a judge for the Stevie Awards, which was really great. I got to see heaps of great different content ideas coming out of the Asia Pacific region. So that was really fun. And then I've been a HubSpot partner for about 9 years now. One of their first, actually probably their second partner in Australia. So I've been one of their longest standing partners here in Australia. And I think, even more importantly, I've helped my clients, really grow their businesses. One client in particular, I grew a whole $1 million revenue stream for them in under a year with no paid advertising, just by
Wow.
leveraging the content that they already had. Yeah, it was. I mean, they are very unique. They're not, I guess, they're an outlier. That they were a very unique client, that they had an incredible amount of traffic and incredible valuable content that people kept coming back for, that they just hadn't figured out how to turn it into revenue.
How
So,
to convert. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that is an excellent segue into what we're going to talk about next. So I'd really love to hear a little, if you can tell the story of how you leveraged some great content and help this organization convert that into cash, and if you
Yeah.
can, try to relate it to SEO.
Well, this particular client had portals that they would produce of really great content, so that people would be accessing all the time without actually giving them any data in exchange for that. So it was quite obvious that they needed to put some forms in place, just some basic profiling forms. So before people accessed the content that they were already producing and publishing, they need to, we put some forms in place and created some content around those, around this great asset to lead people to the form. They'd fill out the form, and then we had their information And it was quite a simple process of saying to people, did you find what you were looking for? After they filled out the form, we'd say, did you find what you're looking for? And it was a very personal, very, simple follow-up. And people would reply back to that email and say, oh, actually, no, I was looking for this and I was looking for that and didn't quite find that. And so then the consultant had great data to start having a conversation and see where there was opportunity there. It was really that simple.
Wow.
It wasn't rocket science. It was just that they hadn't connected the dots on how to capture all this great traffic that they were getting.
So essentially, you created a content locker. The people
Yeah,
provided
gated
their,
the content.
yeah, exactly, and then you by asking some questions, you created conversation.
Right, exactly. And
Perfect.
then on top of that, we created some summary ebooks about different segments of the content. So we would create a summary ebook about a particular demographic region, create an ebook about that was really topical and interesting, promote that on social, or just organic social, and email, because they had a great email database, and then that would just drive more traffic and conversions. So.
Very good. Very good. So, do you have any other examples that you can share with us, that again would how you're using content marketing to improve or change SEO?
Well, I think with content, content and SEO go hand in hand, and
Right.
I think that you really, to do, and also to do content well, you need the technology infrastructure for a platform and a conversion strategy. I think they're all interlinked. So even podcasting, it's all interlinked with the strategy. If you're just doing a podcast on its own and not thinking about how you can convert those listeners into subscribers, or should you be emailing that content out, then it's a wasted opportunity. And I worry that people sometimes do content in silos and don't hook it up to a broader strategy and a broader lead gen strategy. So, in terms of content and SEO, you 100% need to be strategic about the keywords that you're going after, and making sure that that you're doing all the right technical things from an SEO health perspective. You've got you're linking internally, you're linking externally, you're using your H1 tags and page titles and all that good stuff. But I think also what I'm seeing a lot of is people collaborating with content, and that's great for SEO and great for social sharing and great for building a community and a good experience. Is that you collaborate and interview people, and then you link to them, and then they often link back to you. They share the content they were featured in on their website and link back to you. So it's a very collaborative way of link building and a collaborative way of growing your community.
Agreed. Yeah, we are heavily involved in social media marketing, and
Mm-hmm.
early in our onboarding conversation, we're very transparent in that we say don't rely on any one platform or any one thing to drive what you want to drive. If you're driving traffic, if you're driving social followers, don't rely on any one thing to get that done. So, and it's also the same message that we've been getting across the board from almost every single one of these SEO interviews. All SEOs agree that when I ask them what's the one thing that you would want to leave with us today, what's the one statement, almost everyone wraps up with it's that's the whole thing about SEO, is it's not one thing, it's a combination of all of the main parts of SEO. And so it's really important. What you said is accurate, and it's really important that we continue to internalize that and not forget.
Yeah, and yeah, don't build your house on rented ground.
Right.
And it's
Which is social platforms, right?
100%. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have control of Instagram. You don't have control of Facebook. You don't have control of anything that Google does. You know, Google, I think last year changed the algorithm over 3,000 times. So it's like you're never going to win. So
Yeah.
you can try your best and keep going, but I think ultimately you really need to think about ways you can build your own community, and
Right.
that's your own, and essentially that's your own email database, and that's the asset that you need to be thinking about building after all these tactics, you know, social media, SEO, whatever. Building your own list and your own email database is where you're going to get the best conversions and where you're going to create the best revenue opportunities for yourself.
And where, well, ultimately where you have the most control.
100%.
Right. Right. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good advice. So, anything controversial you see going on out there in terms of uh, content marketing, and your objective is, when I look at your website, it's all about inbound marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
you're looking at trying to maximize the inbound traffic,
Mm-hmm.
the number of leads,
Mm-hmm.
percentage of qualified leads you get, the close rate, and
Yeah.
increase, improve, grow the customer lifetime value.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
So yeah.
what do you see as the challenges right now to get that done?
Oh well, it's. I think there's so many different channels that marketers have to be across. I think the challenge is focus, and focusing on the channels where your audience are, and focusing on where you're going to get the best bang for your buck, because you know you can't be across everything. There's so much going on, and
Right.
there's so many different things you could be doing. And I think that's a challenge for my clients is to pick one, you know, and pick one and do it consistently, like not just try something for a month and then go, oh, that didn't work. Well, that's not enough time, you know.
Right. Right.
You really do need to put a consistent effort in. I'm talking yearly effort, not a couple of months and then scrap it and start again. So yeah, consistent focus on a particular channel will deliver the results, but it's not sexy, you know.
Right.
It's like, oh well, that's not exciting, that's not shiny and new,
Or
that's just
or
good best practice, putting your head down and doing the work.
or fast moving often.
Right.
Ex, except for your example, your earlier example of uh, how you were
I
able
know.
to
COVID.
maximize or
I know.
optimize or
They were,
utilize
I have to be
content.
coming back. Yeah, look, they were an amazing outlier in that they
Yeah.
did have an incredible amount of traffic coming to their site already
Right.
through being, you know, through creating great content and being kind of an early adopter of publishing their content, but not monetizing it. So while yes, look, they are a great case study, but I keep kind of then that's not normal to
Right.
have that kind of incredible. Oh, well, in my experience, it's not normal. What is normal is people getting frustrated with the lack of results in a couple of months and then trying something else
Right.
and switching directions, which is just leads to a further kind of downward spiral, I think, of frustration.
Right. Right. So, since your activities or your business is not centered around um, uh, SEO as an agency, you are practicing certain best practices to grow your SEO, get traffic, do all the right things. What I'm going to ask this question a little differently then. Instead of what tools you use, what would you say your top three um, channels would be to to reach your objective?
Um, Sorry, an SEO objective or an overall
Uh, well,
lead
a
gen or
inbound marketing objective.
right? Okay, so we've uh, well, we do use SEO tools. So I've been using SEM Rush and the Google tools and yeah, like, you know, to Google, hooking up Google Search Console to HubSpot. We use HubSpot a lot, so because I'm a HubSpot partner, duh. So HubSpot is great in that it provides a consolidated platform for all of your integrated efforts. So landing pages, forms, your contact database. You can hook it up to Google Search Console to see the keywords that are being used that are coming into your blog. It's a blogging platform, it's a social publishing platform, it's an emailing platform, all in one, which is fantastic. And
Wow.
otherwise you have to kind of stick it all together with duct tape and different systems and a bit of WordPress, a bit of MailChimp, a bit of, Hootsuite, whatever, all stuck together, which just creates a big, technical nightmare that businesses struggle to just maintain that technology platform. So we use HubSpot a lot as a sort of base platform, and then I've been doing a lot of work with LinkedIn, both organically and paid on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I think it's still, particularly for B2B customers, it's still a really great, it continues to be a great platform to use. It's still got legs organically, particularly with video. It's not as competitive as a Facebook situation. And I think also on LinkedIn, people are expecting to have business conversations. Whereas I know when I'm on Facebook, I'm not really, in a business frame of mind, or on
Right.
Instagram even, I'm not really in a business frame of mind. I'm scrolling, looking at people's beautiful holidays or their lovely houses or, stuff like that. I'm not really thinking about my work when I'm on Insta. But on LinkedIn, I am, and I'm more open to having businessy conversations, which is why we focus a lot of our efforts on that social channel.
Excellent. So when you advertise, you can geo-target?
Yes. Oh, LinkedIn is great for targeting. You can geo-target. You can target by a person's job title. You can target by their skills, the skills that they've self-selected. So you know how you can self-select skills in LinkedIn. You can target people by that.
Okay.
You can target you can also target their seniority in an organization and their tenure, how long they've been there. You can create custom audiences. You can do targeted accounts. So you can load up a list of companies that you want to target and only show your content to those companies. It's incredibly rich for a business marketing perspective.
Huh, interesting. So, and you manage that yourself? Like you don't have a consultant doing that for you?
No, we do that ourselves. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Very good. Very good. So I'm changing gears here quickly. So HubSpot, it's an app that consolidates a lot of activities. Is it integrated with your website?
It is my website.
Oh, so I'm
Yeah.
looking at your, that's interesting. So I'm looking at your website now,
Yeah.
and that platform is HubSpot basically.
100%. Yeah.
So the tool, the inbound marketing ROI calculator, is that part of the HubSpot?
That's a built. No, that's a custom built. Uh, it's a custom built kind of page I got someone to build for me, but still uses the HubSpot infrastructure. So yeah, it's all in one, which is the genius of HubSpot as a platform, is that it is an all-in-one platform. I run everything on HubSpot. So
Very, very good.
you can integrate videos in it. You can host videos there and get tracking, excuse me, on how long someone has watched the video, with their integration with Vidyard. I can integrate Eventbrite if I'm going to do a live event. I can do all the event registration there, and it goes into HubSpot. I can integrate my webinars. I do Zoom webinars, integrate those with HubSpot, and you've immediately got the list of people who attended and who didn't attend, so you can send your follow-ups. It's just a really flexible, powerful platform, and it's a CRM as well. So all my deals are there, all my contacts are there.
Interesting.
And it is also a customer support thing. So it's got chat, it's got a whole customer. So it does the whole 360. So getting back to, I think we were talking earlier about customer experience. HubSpot's a great platform for building a full 360 picture of your customer experience. So whenever you're looking at a contact record, you can see, well, you can see the marketing content that they've consumed, whether they've downloaded your latest piece or opened your latest email. You can see if there's any if they're a prospect, or if there's deals, if there's work happening from a sales perspective. And you can also see if they've got open tickets. So if there's any kind of support issues, you can see that at a glance that this is what's going on with this customer. That's really hard to do.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of enterprise grade level visibility of your customer experience, which a lot of small businesses just don't have.
Well, I'm not aware of it unless it's custom out there. I'm not aware of any system for smaller businesses that would be like this. I may have looked at it years ago, but I haven't looked at it in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, HubSpot continues to, grow and be a great solution. Probably not so much for smaller, because you're looking at $1,000 a month for that full suite. So it's probably more for the mid-market businesses.
Right.
So people who've got 20, 30, 100 employees.
Gotcha.
More, generating, at least kind of $5 million revenue up kind of businesses. Those sorts of businesses, which are still, I think, are massively underserved, with marketing and with technology stacks, massively underserved. You've got the enterprise level players, the Salesforces and Marketo and those kind of marketing automation, Oracle, Eloqua, marketing automation tools. And then there's some mid tiers, but there's nothing that's as fully integrated as HubSpot. So
very interesting. Well, that is great information, Sarah. We haven't had a conversation like that yet in this podcast, so
okay.
I'm sure this is juicy, good stuff.
Okay, good.
So, have you had your breakfast yet?
No, I'm having a tea.
Okay.
So I've got a little bit of a cough, but no time for brekkie right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's awesome, and we're going to start thinking about dinner here. So it's Friday afternoon, and we're in a Friday afternoon mood right now. So, well, thank you very much for talking with me today. Great insights, information. A little off the SEO path, but it's all relevant, because you're trying to create those social signals and links, and get these people, whoever your customers are, get them visibility out there.
Mm-hmm.
So great. Thank you so much. And
Nice
I'm just going to stop the recording.